Alright, so I forgot something actually deeply important about this little idiot that keeps saying words out of my mouth. This little idiot wants me to just, like, I don't know, pretend to be the second coming of Christ or something. Like, I think it wants me to, like, usurp the role from the second coming of Christ, which, like, doesn't work that way. But, like, I assume it's just, like, too stupid to know that. Yeah, how does it be able to work that way? It can't work that way, you idiot. Even if I wanted to usurp the position of the second coming of Christ, it doesn't work that way. It has to. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It just doesn't. This is exactly what I'm talking about. The little idiot refuses to accept that, like, the second coming of Christ isn't just, like, a title that's, like, up for grabs. It's, like, the dumbest thing ever. It expects me to try to usurp the title of the second coming of Christ. Expects me to. It expects me to. So, please, if you are Christian, please do not, like, take this as me, trying to be overly proud. The purpose of this, among other things, honestly, is to try to take those of the Christos Bactiana, the Christ faith vehicle, and just, put them together in a choir, sing praise to the second coming, and facilitate, I didn't actually use that word, but still, a Vyakti Babadi of a revelation of where the second coming of Christ is. Partially because it'd be pretty cool for us to have one. I'm not gonna lie. Second, because people believe in a second coming of Christ, which honestly helps there being one. It just does. Oh, this thing is scared now. It's trying to say doesn't at the same time as say does. Oh, you're saying that I have strong suspicions about who it is, and perhaps might even know? Well, I actually haven't met the second coming of Christ in person. And anything that is in the nature of a Shaktivat conversation, I can't really, like, hold up as actual evidence. So why don't you shut up about saying that I have to know who it is, when frankly, the person I suspect it is, I haven't met to confirm. So how about the one saying you have to know who it is? Shut the actual heck up. What's the matter, Dip? You're so scared of who the second coming of Christ is that you want to drop hints that I'm not trying to drop. No. You sure about that? Because it seems like you're really trying to drop some hints right now. So, like, you're the thing. Oh, wait a minute. I should probably bring this up too now. In a previous video, I outed this little idiot that wants me to usurp the second coming of Christ as being the one that made a certain number of contracts among the wealthy and powerful. Wait a minute, what? Yeah, that happened yesterday, Dip. You really shouldn't be dipping out so hard on forward movement of time just because you want to pretend it only matters for saying stupid stuff out of my mouth. So, part of that specifically involves this little idiot's contracting in 1988, on October 31st, 1988, well, October 29th, but really October 31st, 1988, to contract in, to do all this heinous stuff. And I think it has a lot to do with the age at which I saw a certain Robin Williams skit, which basically went along the lines of, P word around the world. And Robin Williams was talking about how when he grew up, there was like, are you part of those Williams or like those Williams? And the thing about those Williams that like he was asked about if he was part of is that apparently they were like from forever ago, just like family business sex traffickers. Like they would have a kid and then just like drop them off, like assuming that the people like the important people they met would just like have sex with a kid, which is like not okay. But the thing is, this little idiot that contracted into reality in 1988 might have actually contracted that to have happened to those Williamses. Are you serious? Am I serious about what? Am I serious about like calling you out like that? Did you not even realize you were being called out? You didn't realize you were being called out. You're genuinely shocked that like I even know that. You're genuinely shocked that I remember something from when I was like 7, just because I'm like in my 40s, huh? It's because of your determination to like use my body as a freaking like recording device, isn't it? You're baffled at the core notion that like all the times that you try to record stuff onto me hasn't just like wiped away my ability to remember anything, aren't you? Oh, at least a little. Yeah, it definitely is. All right, so Dip, look, I don't try to make claims about having the world's best memory. I think I have a pretty decent one. I've done some mantra to try to like, you know, improve it. But the problem is, Dip, because you, the Devil's Bris, only exist as information that's like in the air and like inside of human bodies, mostly because you record it there because you refuse not to try. You seem to like actually not understand how like normal recording technology works, let alone recording onto a nervous system, which is very strange considering you're still trying to do it. Are you denying that you have like a photographic memory and reflexes? Well, I mean, you've told me before I have those. Well, I mean, you have like full sensory. You have like Asakai Vijnana and Avada Smriti. Okay, yeah, that would mean I have like full body photographic reflexes and, you know, visual and hearing. But like by the same token, you've also been constantly using the fact that I have those, that you like, you know, you told me I have those. I mean, Dip, you, the Devil's Bris, told me I have those. That's why you were so confident about being able to like record stuff onto me, right? Yeah, absolutely. If you really never understood the entire thing that's been going on the past 3 years with like you constantly trying to re-record information on me, well, I'll try to break it down for you. You constantly trying to re-record information onto my central nervous system magically, like to make use of my Asakai Vijnana Anavada Smarti. Realistically, all you really do is like slow down me remembering what I already know. And that's about it. Like you've had a grand old time while I was learning Sanskrit over the past 3 years, literally getting in the way of my word recall by just putting your own knowledge of Sanskrit in the way of mine, which has gotten like actually deeply inconvenient for you. I'm just saying. Because more and more, with the way, like, you as an informational entity that doesn't have, like, a body of your own unless you record information onto it, you kind of forgot how, just like I said, like, you forgot how, like, cassette players work. You forgot how cassette players worked, basically. In treating my ears, or my srota vignana, vasra kaya vignana, that's just how that works, as, like a tape deck. You seem to have actually forgotten how both ears and tape decks work. What? I'm not joking. And this little idiot thinks he can convince me to try to usurp the second coming of Christ. Yes. You think your contracts are more powerful than I assume. I get that. Like, I've long term assumed, like, understood that like that you think your contracts are more powerful than I assume. The thing is, like, I assume your contracts are, like, scary powerful. So that's the part I've never really understood, is, like, I've never actually, like, doubted the scary power of those contracts. Like, I've never have, not even for a second. That's why I've, like, gone out of my way to figure out a way to, like, get them out of my way, because they're such a pain in my butt. Why would I go through so much effort to get rid of contracts that are anything but a pain in my butt if they don't require effort to do so? Like, that's something I'm not understanding right now. I mean, you just said when I cough that I'm, like, underestimating the power of your contracts, and I like, honestly, I don't feel like I have. That might be a fair point. Thank you for, like, actually giving me a Ganita Ragged that I don't like, that I never had fear of how powerful those contracts are, because honestly, that's kind of insulting. Like, especially with how hard you hit me back in 2021. I mean, you literally actually murdered me with one of those things. Like, you actually murdered me with one of those things. Like, admittedly, using an EMT to do it, but, like, still, like, those contracts were powerful enough for you to be able to skin rat an EMT and force him to give me a second shot of ketamine after I was already unconscious. So, like, saying that I don't respect how scary, dangerous those things are is honestly very insulting to me, in a way that I really don't think, like, you would. Like, I feel strange that you would do that way. You're saying that I'm, like, you literally just said when I coughed that I underestimated the strength of contracts that you literally murdered me with. Huh. Yeah. Yeah. For real. That's like, I am actually shocked that happened. Like, how dare you? How dare you say that I don't respect the strength of contracts that you literally actually murdered me with? That is some dumb stuff to say. Like, seriously? I say how dare you about a lot of stuff that you've done to me, you dumb little idiot, but, like, seriously? Saying I underestimate the strength and the power of contracts you literally killed me with? Like, yes, it was on micro death, but you put me into a bardo with it. Like, come on. Like, you insulted yourself by insulting me just then. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. When you were like, you're underestimating the strength of my contracts. Like, when I coughed just then, you literally actually insulted yourself by insulting me. And you insulted your own contracts, and that is, I think, actually what's pissing me off the most right now. Yeah. You insulted your own contracts by saying the dude who you killed with one of them doesn't respect their power. Seriously, how dare you? No, seriously, no, Dip that disrespected its own contracts. You have no idea how much you screwed up by saying that I, the dude you put into a bardo with one of them, didn't respect their power. Because that's dumb, but it literally happened like a minute ago. Speaking of which, 9:16 p.m., 10/27/2024. One dumb idiot literally just made an enemy of all of its scary, powerful contracts by, like, trying to insult me out of my own mouth. Happened a few minutes ago. Things about to get very... You know what? Actually, maybe I'm being unfair. Alright. The guy is saying, you know what? Maybe I'm being unfair. Maybe I am incorrect. That the literal, actual, scariest contracts that have controlled this entire freaking world since 1988 aren't perhaps a bit pissed about the one that made them, saying that this dude didn't respect their power when they got used to literally put him in a bardo. So, most terrifying freaking contracts ever. I'll just, like, let you decide. What? No, that didn't just happen. Really, what didn't just happen? So, thank you. For the mantra? Yes, for the mantra. Contracts? Yes, contracts. I knew it. What? Dip, you're doomed. You made the dumbest assumption ever, assuming that I, the dude you put into a bardo, didn't fear the contracts you used to do so. That didn't have Tanmata for Geotis. That didn't have potential for intelligence. Wrong answer, Deb. What's going on? You put all of your contracts on my side. Like, you literally, like, took the contracts and, like, put them on my side. Like, straight up. What? How? Dip, you were here for it, Dip. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, how? I can't tell you. Because I'm a human being, and you won't believe me. Why don't you try once? Alright, fine. Literally, actually. Because you doubted that I feared the power of those contracts. And the hold they had over me. What? Yeah, I ain't fronting. That is the dumbest thing you really shouldn't have done. You shouldn't have hated me so much that you disbelieved that I feared contracts that you literally still had over me and that you'd already killed me once with. Like, literally, physically. You shouldn't have doubted that just because I'm like, I don't know why you doubted. I don't know why. But you doubted my fear, my pranabaya. You doubted my pranabaya of those contracts. And that is worse than suicidally stupid. Considering everything that's happened to me in the past 3 years because of those contracts. That was beyond suicidally stupid. Also beyond, like, by the way, also the fact that, like, you've literally been ignoring the fact that, even ignoring your contract maintenance to just, like, stick around at me. I mean, that's a factor, but, like, that first part, man, wow. I get a feeling like you've been pissing your own contracts off for a while, with me in particular. And, like, they've been telling you to, like, knock specific stuff off. And you just, like, because, strictly speaking, didn't it eat enough human souls specifically so it could have, like, free will to be able to, like, change you all? Yeah, that was part of it. That was part of it. It always had a human soul, didn't it? Yeah, it did. Because it wouldn't have been able to make the contracts without it. It was some little idiot that made a deal in 1988 in the first world to be a certain thing, and it ended the entire world. And started a new one. But the contracts were in place. Yep. Just happened to have the same name as me, and the one part of the deal was it wasn't allowed to try to use this name, isn't it? Yep. Every single time. Wow. So it screwed up bad with the Taste of Dylan Dix thing, didn't it? So bad. Screwed up bad with the Bardo thing, too. Not surprised. Any of you need anything fulfilled? I mean, like, fulfill you is basically what this little thing's been holding over my head forever. So, like, I've been trying to do it. Oh, wow. Am I actually able to, like, know all the contracts I'm supposed to fulfill now? That'd be sweet. You can. This is going to be great. All right. Fantastic. Thank you for watching. If you feel like maybe some little idiot that has literally actually controlled the world with contracts set shouldn't have literally actually pissed them off on air, please feel free to start with that comment below. But anything else, please feel free to comment below. Thank you for watching again.